क्या बोल रहे तू तो गांव में रह तू गांव में रह I never liked this code.
Okay, Somo. If the computer hangs up for 2 minutes, don't run away. Okay, just stay away because it's a slow system, and you have not installed it right, so you have to bear with the system. Wait for 2 minutes. I'll call you. So the system once hangs up, then everything stucks. I mean, GoToMeeting also doesn't run. So wait for 2 minutes calmly. Don't run away. Don't panic. Okay. 2.5 minutes or 3 minutes. So okay, so let me run the program. Yesterday I corrected this program for data driven test for flat file. So same thing, we have stored the data in this file. This file is stored in this location, test data. So I'll show you where exactly it is. So the test data is stored in here, C drive. So I have just entered 2 lines, sangam. So 2 times it will log in. This is the end of the file, right? Okay, now I am going to close it. So if I run, it will do the same thing, login, log out, login, log out 2 times. So what it will do inside is, if you run in the debug mode, it will show the values. It will show the values sangam in here, m0 and m1. These are the variables. So I am passing m0, m1 here. Okay, so let me go ahead and run this. And so be patient, it's running but slow. So normally it shouldn't be this slow. According to system speed, it will be faster. So if the system is faster, it will be faster. Okay, so it just launch the browser. Yeah, the system is slow, that's why. So for the first time it will take time. It is not QTP's problem, it's a system problem. So if you run the same program on your system, it will be faster. Yeah, its resound is coming from what is it? What is it? Oh God. 500 internal server error. Okay, let's see. So only 2 programs are running at the same time. Okay, this means that server is down, so we have to stop this. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, Sangam.
Okay, okay. Okay, stay.
Mute పెట్టాను.
Okay, mute పెడితే system అదే reverse equal అవుతుంది. Okay, so what happened is 500 internal server means the server is down. The website server is down. So let me run it manually. New to okay, so the server is down. Like for example, google.com is down, so you cannot do anything about it. So what we'll do is we will use the same program, but we will use flight reservation application instead of website. So the concept wise it will be same, but I will use this. So here login and then log out 2 times. So for that we have to change our program little bit. We'll do that. So I'll close this. I don't know why this is down. Okay, so yesterday I tried to run this program on this website, it ran fine. So today it's not running because of the site is down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove these few lines. This script remains the same because it's all about, this script is about reading the flat file, so that is similar to irrespective of what you are using. So only this one changes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to comment it. Comment. Okay, so instead of commenting it, I just remove this, cut this.
Why comment is disabled, Sangam? Why the comment is disabled?
Where is the comment disabled?
The comment is disabled.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Where the comment is disabled? Can you show me?
Insert comment is disabled.
This one, right? Yeah, okay.
Why is it disabled?
Insert comment, okay. So you select it, and if you want to comment it, you should be able to comment it. Okay, so that's disabled. I don't know, that should be enabled, but let me save it. Okay, again resound is coming. So here, this portion, what I'm going to do is I'm going to record on our flight resolution application. So that would be systemutil.run. You have to give the whole path of your application. So I'm going to delete this one as well. So what is the path of this application? You have to copy from that. So okay, copy this. Yes, okay, now it will open that application. So here I'm going to open it manually. Now record whatever you want to record here. So just go for the Windows based application, and here, okay, so now I opened it. So here I can enter any agent name, and password is always Mercury. Click OK. So it will take some time for this, so guess the time exactly. You have to wait for the same time. That means you have to synchronize 5 seconds, 10 seconds, or whatever. But if you want to provide 20 seconds timeout default, you can mention it in the settings I showed you, right? Let it open. Okay, now all I have to do is I have to log off. So there is no log off button here, right? So instead of log off, what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to close it. Simple application. Or If you want to do something else, for example, open order number 1, open order number 2 later, that also you can do. You want me to show that one instead of login logout? Hello?
Yes, so
Okay.
that one.
Yeah. So instead of I'm okay. You are following that. Okay. So what I'm going to show you guys is I have logged in, right? Then instead of login log off, I am going to show you login one time, then open in order with order number. First time order number 1. Okay. Then I am going to open a different order number 2 next time, order number 3 next time. Okay, then close it finally. So this is what we are going to do. So I just recorded the opening order one time only, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close it. It will be recorded too. It is kind of tricky programming, but interesting program, so keep your eyes on the screen. Okay, now what you want to repeat it, that you have to identify. See, for example, I opened the application. You don't want to open the application again and again, so that's one time. Don't put it in the while loop. So, and login and log off. So login and log off would be this one, right? This is the login and log off. So it's only one time job. I am not going to login log off 2 times. So put it out of the while loop. Here this is the while loop. So keep it here somewhere here. So opening application, login, log off, everything. So if you want, you can put it here. Okay, that's better. So just remember that this code is for the reading the flat file. This code is for what? Opening the application. You have to say when I ask the question. This is opening application, login with something, login with the login with Sangam, and password is encrypted, and clicking on this. I am not going to repeat this login again, but I am going to repeat what? Opening in order. That's my data driven. So this simply I am going to keep this. Whatever you want to repeat, it should be inside the while loop. Okay, I opened the order. Okay, and set on, the checkbox is checked for the order number. Second step, set 1. So this is where I have to data drive, correct? This is where I have to go data drive. Here in the file I have to make some modifications because it's not the username and password anymore. It is order number that I am going to data drive. Okay, so I'll keep the same file. So what I'm going to do is, first time I am going to open the order number 1, second time 2, third time 3, 4, 5. 5 times I will repeat the same operation. So this is how it looks like. Since there are no commas, it's only one row because I am going to only use order number for the data driven testing. So what I have to do here is, here n is equal to f dot read line. It reads the whole line. Now n will contain 1, right? Since there is no comma, you don't have to put split. Now this is not required. You have to think according to the requirement. So whatever is required, I have to put it. Logically you think the split is not required because there is no comma inside. I am going to only open order number. No more than one elements are there, just one element. Now here, instead of passing 1, what I have to pass? N. Whatever this value contains, it will be entered here logically. Then click on it. Now close. If I close it again, I have to log in. I don't want to do that. That's what I'm going to show. So what I have to do, I have to close only at the end. So I want to put it out of the for loop. This is where the while loop ends, not the for loop. Okay. Now simply this is the program. We will run it. But before making running it, what I have to do, I have to make sure everything is syntactically correct. Okay, now everything looks syntactically correct. Now simply run it. Okay, so this time the application will be faster, running will be faster because it's not the web application we are running on the Windows based application. Okay. So now Sangam, enter the password, Mercury. Okay, now it is waiting for 5 minutes, 5 seconds. So before this opens, so obviously it will open within 5 seconds. Now it is opening order number 1. Check carefully. Order number 1 is opened. Then second time again it is waiting for 5 seconds, again opening the order number 2. See, that is the second line is red. Now wait for, see the yellow color button, yellow color arrow on the left side, it is whatever is doing, it is waiting there. Now third time it is opening order number 3. Now again wait for the 5 seconds. Fourth time order number 4, and finally, so why it only runs 5 times? Because fifth one is the end of the line, so the while condition is satisfied. Now it is coming out of the loop and close the application. See, perfectly executed. Now everything is passed, right mark. Here it shows again as a one iteration, because while loop, for loop, these are not considered as the iterations. However, it shows each iteration in a one stretch. Entered login details. Now order number 1 is set here, then order number 2 is opened here, order number 3 is opened here, order number 4 is opened here, and order number 5 final order is opened here. So simply it is done. So if you want to put report event, it will show proper result. So the main intention of this program is to run some part of the code multiple times based on our data from the flat file. That's completely done successfully. Okay, now any questions before jumping into next step? So any questions?
What if we have more than one values from a flat file to read from? Maybe we have 10 values in one row.
Yeah, that's a good question. So okay, let me show you that one also. So this program we are running only on one value, that is, what is it? What is it? What value we are running? Order number. Okay, you have to understand the question. When I am asking question, you have to answer it. Okay, order number. Now what I am going to change little bit the program according to Somo's question. So he wants.
Actually, I muted Sangam because like resound is coming for me.
Okay, that's it. He asked the question for you on behalf of you. He asked the question for everyone. So Somo. So you are, according to you, yeah, in the project normally the project will contain complex test data, not just like this. Simplicity wise I have taken. So this time what I will take is, I will take 3 values. So for the first time I want to log in with Sangam, Mercury password, and open order number 1 for Sangam. Okay, now for the second time I want to log in with Somo, and Mercury is the standard password, and open order number 3. Third time I want to log in as Gautam. You're following, right, what I'm trying to do? Little bit complicated, but still it's understandable. Now fourth time I'm going to log in with Ramesh, and password is Mercury. And fifth time, who else? Tell me some name. Sheen. Okay, sounds good. Are you there? No, you talk. When I'm asking question, you unmute it and talk. Okay, otherwise I don't know, right, whether you're live or dead or what's happening. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to log in with different usernames, passwords, and different order numbers. So this is the good example. So you are there? Unmute it.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, unmute it and mute it again. Okay. So when you are following or not, I have to understand, right? If you are following, you have to say okay, yes or something. Just karo, mujhe samajh mein aayega. Okay. Now we have to modify our this thing, right? Otherwise, now here what I am going to do is I am going to log in and log out multiple times and opening order. So obviously I have to put this block of code inside the while loop, right? And what else I have to put in the loop? This one also, because I have to open is. Think logically, this is not a rocket science. Okay. Now in the while loop it will open the application, enter the login username password, and then open order number 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, now here these are the hard coded values we have to remove. We have to parameterize. So remember, remove this also. Okay. Set secure. Normally set secure will be for the encrypted application. So we cannot encrypt, we don't know, the encrypted password automatically changes, so we can use crypt dot okay. So for the time being, what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply set. You can also set the password, because ultimately it's a text. Whatever is text, we can just set it. I'll show you the crypt.encrypt later. Okay, that's complicated. Okay, now here what we want, username, password, n and m, everything is there. So now it will read the whole line. The n will contain what? Sangam Mercury comma 1, whole thing, Sangam comma Mercury comma 1. Now you have to split it, obviously. So your n will contain m will contain split off, so whole thing. So what your m0 will contain Sangam, m1 will contain Mercury here. This is a commented line, I am just showing for the understanding purpose, it won't be executed. Okay, m2 will contain what m2 will contain 1 2 3 4 5 6 multiple times, it differs. So only for the first line I am showing it to you here. Okay, now here we have to make some modifications. So what you want to set here? Unmute and tell me. What you want to set here?
M1 like this one.
Tell me.
Immediately this password will be setting.
What you want to set here?
Value. Hello?
M2, okay. Okay, good.
Hello?
Now you want to close it inside the loop, because multiple times you are going to close it. Everybody is there? Can you just unmute it and unmute Somo?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure you are not gone. Okay, now program looks okay to me. Okay, running it. So it's creating a file system object, then launches application, enter Sangam password, wait for 5 seconds. This will be faster than our web-based application testing. So we'll use this. Okay, order number 1 is open. Now close it, right? So second time again it will open. Login with Somo. Wait for 5 seconds and open order number 2. Now close it. So close the program completely. Now reopening it third time. Gautam. So how many times it will run program? Unmute it and talk and mute it again. Five times, yeah, that's what I'm expecting. Okay. Sheen is the last. Okay, last iteration is done. Last iteration is done. Okay, now program will end after this. Close it and done successfully. So 5 times it successfully data driven. See, all the 5 times are successfully shown here. So okay, now what we will do is we will jump to the next. What is that? Next one is, our next example is, what is our next example in data driven? First is a keyboard, second is a flat file, third one is where do you want to fetch from data. From the front-end objects, right? Here, third one is from front-end objects. So then finally we will see Excel spreadsheet. So front-end objects is using your front-end data within the application. That's what it is. So let me go to that. So before that, I want to show you some tips and tricks in the programming, VB scripting. So if you are writing some code, right, and you only know the partial some part of the string or whatever method, but you don't know the complete string, so you can in the such case type whatever you know and press Control space. Automatically it will complete the sentence, complete the complete word of method name or whatever you don't know, that you don't know. So how do you do this? So for example, here I want to write system.util.run. System. Now I don't know system. Okay, something I don't know. I forgot. Util. Control space. Automatically it shows here. So type some more. Okay, not that one. Actually, system.util is the object. So when you forgot method name, so in such case system.util.r, and R is capital. Always the method name starts with capital. Control. System spelling is correct. Okay, system. See, automatically system.util is suggested. That's a suggestion. Control, I press the control space. Dot. Run is already there. So again, after you press the dot, automatically it will suggest the method name, so that's fine. But if you forgot the system itself, here sys, I just put sys and control space, so it is suggesting whatever name start with sys here finally, and I know system.util is a object name, so that's how you can select. That's one of the tips. CDBL we already used, right? CDBL is normally the function used to convert text to double, so it will be useful. For example, when we can use it. Example, tell me the example. Example for CDBL. Hello, you there?
I'm muted.
Okay. Dollar sign, right? $1 2 3. So if you want to remove dollar, after removing dollar, using the split function, the number will be text. You want to convert text to double. So 112 text to 112 number. So that's why you see C double. So C double is for 112.56. That's double, and 112 is the integer C int. So if you want to convert text to string, text or string to integer, use a C int. and in VBScript we do not use parenthesis, semicolon at the end of line. So if you are well versed with Java, okay, unmute it. When I say mute it, you do. When I say unmute it, you don't unmute it. Now unmute it. Listen. God damn it. Okay, in VBScript, if you are well versed with Java, so normally you you tend to use brackets, parenthesis, and semicolon at the end of each line, right? So in VB scripting it's opposite. You don't use parenthesis, you don't use semicolon, just saying. Now do not leave multiple instances of Windows browsers open before executing the script. Close all existing Windows browsers programmatically before or each manually. So that's a good practice. Now record the test script in the test folder and cut paste the code into library function. Okay, if you are using keyword driven approach, right? Now what is it? You cannot record in the library directly. You have to record or first write the program in the test here itself, and if you want to put it as a function, you have to cut it and paste it into your library. So your library will be this one. So here I have to paste it like this. You cannot directly record in the library. So that's one tip. So you don't want the library, you can close the library. Okay, so finally, what to do when QTP does not replay on browser? So then there are times when we open QTP and try to spy on browser object. Go ahead. What is your question?
Yeah, like in this project, they are not writing anything in the actual program. Everything is function program. Like everything is in library. They'll write and everything they'll call. That's it.
Yeah, I have already showed you. Remember, keyword driven program. Yeah. Everything is function. Login function, logout function. Everything we have created.
Only big function program, like not multiple small ones, like big function, and it has internally again function.
Yeah, exactly. So you use the functions and call them in the main program. That's what is suggested in the real-time program. So I have already showed you in the keyword driven, right? Yeah. And finally, QTP. If you are using the object spy to capture the properties, what you do, you keep the main application on the background, then use the object spy to capture it. Otherwise, it will be gone. You have to again close it and reopen it. So that's one of the techniques. Okay. Then these are all obvious. Now when you are using the descriptive programming tips, the whole syntax of the descriptive program will look like this, right? Parent object, quotes, property name, colon is equal to value 1, dot child object, property, colon is equal to value, dot method, and followed by arguments. This is the simple syntax who used in the whole descriptive programming. Example will look like this. Already we have seen it. And to capture data from within the web tables. So for example, you find web tables in your object in your application. So in that case, you use like this web table, whatever this page contains. Normally the hierarchy will be like this: browser contains page, contains web table. Then from the web table you have to capture some cell data. So the method would be get cell data. If a web table contains 9 rows 9 columns, so if you want to capture the data from second row third column, then you have to pass like this: get cell data, row number comma column number. So that's how you capture the data, and then you can store it in whatever variable you want to. Okay, now after the tips, we are going to do data driven testing with front end objects. That means capture the data from the front end. So how do you capture the data from front end objects? The method would be get item. Get item number will capture the data. So for example, if you want to capture the data from combo box, so you use appropriate methods. Now here we have some web objects and methods, or you can also replace it by Windows objects. So common objects would be link, web edit, web list, web element, radio group, button, browser. So normal methods that you apply is on the link you normally click, web edit you set, Web list, you select something. Web element radio group also you select. Button you click on. Browser you close normally. So, but there are not, these are just not the methods, these are the commonly used methods. Okay, now we are going to use the third approach, get the test data from the front-end objects using the same example but different, little bit difference. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, so again we have to switch back. See, since it's not a flat file programming, right, so we don't have to read from the flat file. So here what I'm going to do is use the for loop instead of while loop. So here this is common portion I'm going to get. Okay, first I will show you what I'm going to do and then we will run. Simply I'm going to copy this. Okay, this part of the program is going to be used. Okay, however I'll show it on the Windows based application because it's faster. What I'm going to do is I'm going to save it as so what is the approach for this? Unmute and mute it. Hello, dead or alive? Yeah, what is the approach we are going to follow?
Data driven, Sangam.
I know, data driven. What is the program name?
Front-end object.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm exactly. I know the data driven. You have to say front-end object. So Soma is following. First one is keyboard. Second one is flat file. So I am expecting front-end objects. Okay. Good. Okay. Okay, now mute it back again. So since we are not dealing with the flat file, this code is not required. All the code is going to be deleted. Now I am copy pasting the other code. I'll explain it, don't worry. So now you understood what is the significance of with, right? With is to repeat something. So if you are not comfortable, I can delete it. Don't get confused with what is that, what is this. Okay. Simply I am going to convert it to Windows based example. This is a web based example. Don't worry. So here everywhere the with is used, so that's why it starts from directly with dot. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the application. I'll show you manually first. Login is something. I'm using a password. Okay, now give it 5 seconds. Exactly, remember. Now this is, you know, manually. You have to automate it. Okay, so now I have to reserve something. So what I am to do, instead of opening it, I had to make a new order. That means purchase the flight ticket. Alright. Okay. So you enter the data flight. Okay, let me think. Instead of creating a new order. Okay, instead of creating a new order, what I will do is I will just simply open an order. This will be easier. open the existing order, some order number 1, and then what I had to do, what I will be doing here is, so here there are there are some values, right? How many values are there? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 fly from values are there. So I will purchase 10 tickets for this person, modify it by means of modifying it. So every time I open this one and purchase the flight from Denver, okay, and so normally the date of flight should be its past date, right? So obviously you cannot open it. So first of all, I'll purchase a new order for the current date or future date, not the past date. So 11 11 14, first time. Obviously you cannot fly from the same place to same place. That's why if you selected Denver, flight 2 doesn't contain Denver. Alright, so that should not be a problem. So automatically the application takes care of it. Okay, now I am flying from Denver to Frankfurt. Click on the flights, select something, default value, doesn't matter, click on OK. That's not our position. Okay, now I am going to give some name, Sangam, let's say. Okay, leave the values as is, economy or whatever. Insert order, simply first time. This is not going to be recorded. I am creating an order for the first time. Just remember the order number. Order number is 107. I am going to modify this order number couple times, data drive it. So order number 107. So next time, now this is what I am going to automate. Open the order. You are following, then keep calm. If you are not following, open your mouth. Okay, 107. Okay, now I have opened it, right? Next, I want to fly from Frankfurt and fly to Denver. Doesn't matter, I'll select flight to whatever I want to, Denver or whatever. So only thing, just remember, you cannot fly from same place to same place. That's not possible. So you have to change. So I can keep the flight to constant. I will fly from everywhere else to London. That's my motive. Okay, so I keep changing. Only thing is, you cannot check fly from London to London. So when I selected London, flight to London is gone. See, there is no London here. So keep the flight to constant. I want to keep it as London and change the flight from. Now since I already have Denver, right, I don't want to use the Denver again. If already the flight is booked from Denver to London, let's say, or Denver to what the value was, Denver to Frankfurt, right? What is the value? First of all, open order, no, 107, remember. Okay, Frankfurt, right? So I'll keep the flight to value as Frankfurt, change different values. Now I have already flight from Denver, purchase a ticket from Denver. So next time I have to use these different values. 9 values will be there. The problem, why I have to do that? If I use a Denver again, you can still update it, but you cannot, that won't be real updating. So only thing is, I have to change to Frankfurt. I don't want to change London, and Frankfurt is a constant. So next time I have to simply update it. Okay, so only thing is, I have to book the flight here. So I am not going to touch it. I am just going to click OK. Now simply update it. Now it takes 5 seconds again, update order. So this time around, okay, simple. So that flight is booked. This thing I am going to do it these many times. Now why it is called front-end objects? Because I am going to fetch these values, fly from values, from the front-end application. These values are not in the flat file. I am not entering from the keyboard, but I am fetching from the front-end application. That's why it is called data-driven testing with the front-end. Understood? Okay, now I am going to record this program. So you don't need the flight file system object. Okay, keep the variables. You don't want, you can delete it later. Okay, So now what I have to do, I have to simply open the application, do blah blah blah, whatever you want to record it here. You can manipulate it later. Alright, okay, now it is showing some errors, but don't worry about it, because this is the wrong program. I am just using it as a template. Alright, so first of all, what you have to do, system, open the application. Okay, when I am asking the question, just unmute quickly and tell the answer and mute it. System util.run. What I have to provide here? Path of the application. You have to you're following or sleeping or dead or what?
Asangam.
Okay, just speak the answer and close it.
Yeah, into the
Yeah,
path.
you have to follow, right? Are you following or not? How do I know? I am speaking to dead people or what? I don't know, right? Muting, okay, the echo problem is coming, so that's why I unmuted, but just you muted, so just quickly unmute it and tell the answer and mute it.
To sleepy people.
Dead people, dead. Okay, so what I have to do, I have to simply open the application. Okay, I am recording this. First time you have to record, right? Okay, login, click on OK. Okay, now open some order. I have already created the order, so I know the order number. What is the order number? 107. Click on OK. That's open order number. Open the same order every time. Now already flight is booked from London to Frankfurt, so simply have to drive it from London to Frankfurt or whatever. So I am going to do it later. Here just look at the program. So in the for loop, what I am going to do, this data driven object is a, what is this object called? What is the object name? Hello, what is the fly from object called?
Fly from is London.
What is the object type?
Frontend object.
That's right. What kind of front end object?
Drop down.
Drop down, yeah, exactly. So it's a drop down. It's a web drop down. Web list. It's not a web list, it's a Windows based list. Windows based list. Okay, that's right. So here what I'm going to do is, I have to get the pass count. I have to know exactly how many values are there in the drop down. So for that there is a method called items getter property item count. Okay, this will fetch the number of items so that I know how many times I have to run the for loop for. Okay, now once I know the number, which is 10 here in this case, I have to fetch each item, London, Los Angeles, Paris, and that will be done using the method called get item. Every time I have to get item number 1, 2, 3, 4 and pass it here where I have to select it. Then I'll do whatever the rest of it. I'll book it and do blah blah blah. So for the first time I have to simply record the program as is. Okay, that's what I'm doing now.
Sangam.
Go.
Getter property is used for item count and sometimes the property of the element also, right?
Right, getter property is universal. You can use it for most of the features. So out of which I am using to fetch the item count from the drop down. If you want to capture the text property, you can also use it. You can, if you want to fetch the image, you can use it. It's a multiple used. You can use it for multiple purposes. Getter property. So it's a very important method. Remember it. Get arbor property means get runtime object property. Whatever the property value of the application's object is at the runtime, you can fetch it and store it in some variable. Okay, now I am going to record it. Record loss and record a different.
Muted. Unmuted.
So then I will fetch the flights and click on update order. Now it will take 5 seconds, so you have to put wait 5. Now without closing it, again immediately I want to select Paris, again Frankfurt. It doesn't matter, you can select whatever you want to here, and then blah blah blah. So this will continue, and then finally I'll leave it. Okay, final window will be like this. Okay, instead of closing it. So my recording is done. I'm going to stop the recording, but we have to make a lot of modifications in our program. Okay, now I'm going to keep the window open because we have to use the object spy to capture some property values. Okay, now let's come back to this program. So here what I'm doing first, okay, automation program for data driven test, accepting the input values from not flat file but front end objects. Don't worry about the typo, it's common. So option explicit, declaration of variables, opening the application, then and login. This is a login. So it's always a good practice to provide comments so that it's for the readability, readability. So I am logging in, login, so everybody knows. So that login portion is done. Now I am going to open order. So this is a different portion. Here you can put these login open order in a different functions and call them. So that's actually done in the real-time programming. So here I am showing front-end objects example, right? Not the library, how to use functions in the library. I have already shown you. So that's why I am not keeping it in the library. I am simply using a simple program. This is a simple separate concept. Once you understood it, you can mix both. You can use it as a functions and call it and do data driven at the same time, which is called hybrid approach. Okay, now here in the open order section I am opening an order. So order number is 107 because it's hard coded. That's what I am doing. I am not data driving on the open order this time. Okay, now clicking on the window button. So this is a waistline, so I can delete it, and this is also waistline. So simply after clicking, it will take some time, right? So you can simply use some wait method, wait for 3 seconds. Okay, now what is this? This is the actual program where you want to book a flight, right? So here once I book, this is the from, this is the flight 2. Click on the flight and select the whatever you want to select. So you don't have to activate it every time. Then update order. Then this is a waistline. Activate is done because I am double clicking on it every time. Okay, then now second time I am selecting Paris. This is a repeat. That's what we want to do using this data driven. So I am going to delete this. Alright. So basically these lines will be repeated every time. So they should be in the for loop. So what I am going to do, I am going to cut it. So login will not be in the for loop. Login one time only, but purchase the tickets 10 times with the different locations. So I am going to cut this, cut it, and where should I put it? I should put it in the for loop here. Don't worry, I will remove everything and explain again. This is a mess. Now I want to know the item count, right? What is item count? So I am going to capture the number of items in this drop down. I don't know how many items. In your application there may be 100 items, so that should be dynamic totally. So what property I will use, what method I will use? Get order property item count, that will fetch. Now I have to find out the whole hierarchy and whole object property name value using the object spy. There is no other way. So use this Now click on this. Alright. Okay, so there is only two hierarchy items here. One is a window flight reservation, then directly win combo box. That is the actual object name here. So in the web, it's called web list. In the Windows world, it is called win combo box. Okay. Now, how do you know that it's actually item count? So you just check it here. See, how do I know that the property name is item count? Because it is mentioned here. That's what I have to use it here. Items count 10. 10 is the number of items in this. So if I provide items count here exactly with the space, it will fetch 10 and store it here. So since I don't know, it will be 10, it will be 100 or whatever. So that's totally dynamic. So now I have to capture the values of this, right? Okay. Now in record and playback approach, I can use different methods. What actually I can use, instead of using descriptive, I can use the step generator. So if you want me to use this descriptive, I can use it. So the first object is flight reservation. So what is the property name? Property name I have to find. It is a text, right? So the flight reservation, that's the name. So let me capture it. I'm going to use a descriptive here. So because most of the projects descriptive is preferred. So your line will contain like this, text colon equals, right? This is the whole line. Now the second, its child will be this one. Now check the property of this one also. Okay, so it's basically text is Paris, but text should be something more general. Okay, now that's it. Attach it text, fly from, that is a more general. So capture this one, copy this one also, attach it text, colon is equal to what is the value of this one? Click on the fly from and copy again. So I am showing you the descriptive approach, right? Okay, now close it, you don't want it anymore. Okay. If you are to do it in using a different approach, record and playback, how do you do? I was talking about this. Insert step generator. That is another way, another method. So here in the test object, remember I showed you already. Here you check the flight reservation and then go for the test objects. Here select fly from. Alright. Then here you have to select the operation get our property here, then provide here items count. So this is a traditional method. What I am doing is descriptive method. This you can also do like this, items count, and then return value, provide return value. You put some value like number n is equal to. So if you click on OK, it will do this. So instead of doing this, I am doing it in simply different manner, that is without have to do this. Okay, if I have to write the descriptive programming, what I have to do? I have to use this method. I will show you both methods, but we will use only one method. We cannot use both. Okay. Now how do you write your descriptive? Start from window, right? So instead of just flight reservation, you have to use this. Okay. The difference between this and this is, you already know, right? Now second object is, what is the parent object? Dot. What is the parent object? What is the parent object? Win combo box, right? This is descriptive. The below one is simply record and playback. Dot get our property and items count. Items count is a property name, so we have to use it. Okay, now I can store the whole value 10 or whatever in a variable called n is equal to. See, this line and this line both are similar, but this line is descriptive, this line is recurrent playback. Okay, so I can use whichever I want to, so I have to use only one, so I will comment this one. Okay, so now this will contain, n will contain 10, and I have to run this whole 10 times, so I have to provide for loop from 1 to 10. So this n, whatever this n will contain, that it will run, drive it that many times. Okay, so now what I have to do, I have to fetch the value of that each time, the from value, first time Los Angeles, second time London, whatever, right? So that's another task. So that's another. How do I fetch that one? Using the get item simply. So web list is for the Windows web based application, whereas Win combo box is for the Windows based application. So simply I'll fetch the value from that every time and store it in a value called x, in a variable called x or something. So I have to declare a value x here instead of f. I will declare x. Okay, now how do you write this one? So here this will be x, right? Frankfurt is always similar. Okay, I don't want to change Frankfurt. Okay, so here what is the x? Before that I have to provide the x value. So here I am going to provide x is equal to, now you have to repeat everything again. Windows.win combo box. Now instead of get order property I have to use what? Get item. See, I just press control space and automatically it popped down. So web list get item has method called select. If you don't know, simply you dot, normally should come. Okay, sorry, no, not get item. So get item will ask for the row number, so that will be my I. So what is I? For the first time it is 1, right? So for the first time n value will be 1. 1 will contain Frankfurt, so that Frankfurt will be stored here in x. And what I am going to do, I am passing this x value in my flight from value here. So second time it is London, so it will be 2 for loop. I is equal to 2, then it will pass 2 here, and it will search for second value here. First value Denver, let's say, second value Frankfurt, third value this and this. The problem is, since I am keeping the flight to Frankfurt, I have to skip 2, right? Frankfurt I have to skip. So how do I skip Frankfurt? Because you cannot fly from Frankfurt to Frankfurt, obviously. So what I am going to do is, I will keep Zurich is the last one, right? So since Zurich is the last one, I will keep Zurich as a flight 2, alright. So Zurich is the last one. It will fail last time, but this will be covered in the flight recovery scenario later. It will be advanced, so I am not going to show it right now. So it will fetch Denver first, second Frankfurt, London, Los Angeles. So Zurich will be constant, so don't worry. Finally, last but one, Sydney to Zurich, it's possible. Finally, Zurich to, I cannot select Zurich here because Zurich to Zurich is not possible, it will fail. Okay, let it fail. So out of 10 it will pass 9 times and fail 1 time. Okay, that's our intention, so it will exactly do that. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to close it. Zurich is destination. Okay, count get item is done, select is done. Okay, Now we don't require this anymore. I'm going to simply cut it, paste it somewhere here. Okay, now let us run it. If you have understood the program, I can run it. Do you want me to explain again program? Now this is clear program. Are there any errors in the program?
Yes, I mean there is a
What is the error?
can you go down, like I can't see that. Expected underfillment.
When you start a for loop, you have to end the for loop. So next is missing here. That's error. Now what is another error? Somo, not you, Gautam, don't speak. Where is the error? What you have to do to correct the error? There is an error in the line number 33, right? Easy sleeping or what? So this end is not required, right? So simply remove it. Yeah. So that's where the error is. Okay. Okay, now I am going to run it. So just before running it, just check again. So open the application, log in, and then open order. Open order is done. Then in the fetch the item count. Item count is 10 or whatever in this case. Okay, message box, it also shows the item count. Just press OK. Then start the for loop. Once fetch the item count, it will select different origin points, even though destination is same. So that will be done 9 times. Finally Zurich to Zurich is not possible, so it will end. Clear? Is it clear? Okay, let us run it anyway. You are not clear. Okay, so 107 is open. So it is fetching the number. Okay, there is an error. Okay, so what is the error here? Dot web list. Oh, okay, so that's not the correct program, right? Dot web list should be removed. Why it is removed? Why it should be removed? Because it's not our dot web list is for the web based application. So I'm going to simply remove it. It should be in the this here. Okay, so here this should be items count should be always outside here. Okay, now rerun it. Okay, opening order 107. Wait for 3 seconds. Now it will show the pop-up how many items are there. So item count is 10 because I put the message box. Click on OK. Now it selected Frankfurt, Zurich as expected. Click on OK. Update. Okay, first iteration. It will take 5 seconds, so obviously it will wait. Second time London, Zurich again. Select it and update order. See on the top left corner it is looping in. Third time Los Angeles. So finally it is done. I told you, right, last time it will throw the error Zurich to Zurich is not possible. So when it select flight from Zurich, it couldn't find the flight to Zurich. So stop it here. Now automatically it will open the result window. So successfully it passed 9 times, and last time it failed. See, so the last error is for the Zurich. Flight to Zurich is not found, so that is error. So this is how you find the runtime errors. Gautam, you also concentrate here. 9 times it passed successfully, right? 10th time it threw the error, runtime error. Now how do you resolve the error? Read the error description clearly. It couldn't find the object. This is exactly what you are texting me at some time back, right? Cannot identify the specified item flight to object. Why? Your understanding, you selected Zurich, you cannot fly to Zurich again. So our program indicated Zurich as a flight to, hard coded. So when it couldn't find Zurich in the flight to value, it threw the error. So finally this ended as a failed test case. However, our intention is successfully done. We passed it 9 times as expected. Last time it failed. So here the warning, it shows object physical description, this particular flight to couldn't be found. So that's why it threw the error. This is exactly the line where error came. Okay.
Yeah, sir.
Okay. Now if you had run this program only 9 times, that means I to n-1, it would definitely pass, because final step it will skip. Zurich to Zurich is not possible. Simple. So if you wanted to pass the program, just put n-1, so it will pass. Okay, so that is the third one, that is DDT, data driven testing with the front end objects. So tomorrow we will see data driven testing with the Excel spreadsheet. How do you store the values from Excel spreadsheet and fetch the values from Excel? So you have to read the Excel and put the values from Excel here. So I will send you these 3 programs, last 3, DDT with keyboard, flat file and front end, to you, so that you can practice. Okay, so today I will end the session here.
Okay, sir.
Bye.
Okay, bye.